trust the process to keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you what I'm seeing. You can have it if you dream it. Just be brave and you'll achieve it all. It all. I wanna know if you really want it, and if you do, then just shout it loud and clear. I wanna know if you really need it, and if you do, then just shout it loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear. Shout it loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear. Shout it loud and clear.
Hi everybody. Good evening, good evening. All right, let's get started. I see it's 8:02 Eastern time. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Aaron. How are you this evening?
Doing great, thanks. How about you?
Not too bad at all. Not too bad. I just had this discussion with somebody just before we started the show here that no, Fibonacci is not a pasta dish. I want to get that perfectly clear. You are confusing with fettuccine. Fibonacci is not fettuccine, although I like fettuccine. I don't think I want to eat Fibonacci. Anyway,
Oh, wow.
yeah. I don't know if you ever had that question posed to you, but believe it or not, I have. And I think I've seen everything. All right, let's get started, folks. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, here comes the comments already. Yeah, well, anyway. All right, let's get the recording started. I think this is the button right here. Let's see what happens when I hit this. There it is right there. All right, gang. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our weekly fireside chat. DayTradeSPY.com's fireside chat. That picture, that is me on the right, and that beautiful girl on the left, that's my lovely dog, Lucy. And she's right here beside me right now, still breathing, still going. 12 years old, folks. She's only supposed to live till about 6 to 8 years of age. Somebody asked me the other day, how come she lives so long? I said, well, we feed her people food, and I figure if it's good enough for us, it's good enough for her. She had steak tonight, so she's in her food coma tonight. So
Oh,
anyway.
wonderful.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I had the dog food, and she had the steak. So
Was it prime rib or what was the cut?
it was filet mignon or whatever. Just yeah, these little things, and it was bacon wrapped, so that she had some bacon with it as well. So
Oh, wow.
she loved it. Yeah, uh, medium rare. She likes it. So anyway. All right, let's get started. Introduction to trading, week-in review. Welcome, everybody. All right, there's the questions box. You'll find the icon on your Zoom dashboard. Click on that a little bit. We'll tell you about that. Today is Sunday, May the 19th. And if you are new here, let us know in the questions box. Again, you'll find a little icon on your Zoom dashboard. Click on that. Aaron and I are the only ones to see that. So go ahead and say whatever you want. And we hope to get to all your questions here. Not sure we will, but here's the disclaimer. All right, I'm going to give you a second or two to read this, and I will be quiet while you read it. I'll go over the questions. Okay, lots of questions already here, and I can't believe it. Okay, all right, let's move along here. You alone are responsible for all your own trading, and past performance does not guarantee future results. I think you know that. All right, that keeps the lawyers happy. And I got this background here. I better close the blinds so that you can see me a little bit easier. We'll also put the light on here. Hopefully this will work for when it gets dark here. Okay, that's a little bit better. Here I am live, folks, live and in color. Kind of a casual Sunday. And yes, we had steak tonight. Lucy had she had a lot of steak here tonight. She's loving it. Folks, my name is Hugh. There's Aaron over there on the right. And just a quick overview, my background. Most of what I learned about trading options came from the trenches. School of Hard Knocks, I call it. Yeah, I took a bunch of courses and stuff, but it's like anything else, most of what you learn is from the playground. But I've trained thousands of people internationally since 2010. When we started this whole thing by accident, here it is 15 years later, we're still doing it stronger than ever. I personally look for short-term breakouts, small daily gains, over and over and over again. Scalping is my favorite strategy. And I like to combine fundamentals with technicals and the psychology of trading. And I am the better looking of the two of us, according to a recent study. Aaron, on the other hand, Aaron, I'm going to let you go for your brief bio, and if they want to read more about us, they can go to our website. But go ahead and tell them who you are.
Oh, sure, of course. Yeah. Was that a study from GQ magazine, or what was that study from? Just
Okay, we asked your mother.
thank you. Yeah, well, just a quick summary about myself. Started trading and started learning about the stock market at 14. Started getting into trading when I was 17. Opened up my first account. Started self-studied for and passed my Series 3 exam, which is a commodity futures broker exam. I've had my license since I think 2015, 9 years now. It's a pretty long time. Also mastered all the books, well, read all the books in fundamental technical analysis, as well as chart patterns and financial markets. And most recently, I was a analyst for around $150 million fund based out here in Virginia. And I don't think I'm smarter than you, Hugh. I don't think I'm smarter than you. Maybe you're the better looking and the smarter of both of us.
No. I'll give you the brains. You'll give the brains because
Thank you.
we go to deep dive analysis, and I'm going to show people stuff here tonight that's going to knock their socks off. I like to go for a lot of small gains because to me, accumulate those small gains, they add up. It's just kind of a nice, easy, casual trade. So, just to be clear, Aaron and I have kind of different styles of trading. One's not better than the others, whatever you like. I used to be more aggressive before, and I would go for those home runs and all of that. And yeah, I made some pretty good money in the past. Let me tell you, I made some very good money in the past, and I also lost a lot of money too. But after a certain point, I remember we were out for dinner. It was one of my birthdays and a few years ago. My wife said, "Listen, we have everything we need, everything we want. Mortgages are all paid off, cars are paid off, kids, the education's done, all that. Why do you have to keep trading so much, so heavy, heavy? Why go on risk? I know you get the adrenaline rush, but she said, how about just trade small? Trade small, trade often. Isn't that good?" And that's true too. And there's safety in numbers, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, but just a little bit of a talk, not much. But so I said, fine, and I'm happy to make 5-6% or scalps, make 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 cents per trade. But for scalps, I like to put more money into the trade and take a smaller profit and repeat the process, several times a day. It's kind of cool when you walk away with a nice bag of cash at by 11, 12 o'clock, and you're kind of done for the day. Whereas Aaron has a different style of trading altogether. And we're going to talk about that tonight because you're not going to want to miss this. What we have to tell you tonight is absolutely solid gold. And honestly, Aaron, those people at Eagle, I love them and all that, but they do not know the value of what you have to offer.
Well, thank you.
And they do not know the value. When I saw the numbers they're throwing out, I said, are you flipping kidding me? Seriously? Knowing what I know, I would gladly pay, 10 times the price, and really it's worth 100 times the price. It's a bargain because what you can make on Aaron's deep dive analysis, what he's going to show you in this workshop that we're going to talk about is absolutely phenomenal. So anyway, let's move along. Anyway, that's kind of what that's all about. So I want to tell you this other thing. So Aaron has his indicators that he uses, and I have my indicators that I use. This is what I want to tell you. And when our indicators unite, our trades ignite. And this happens in the trading room when Aaron says the market's going to go up, and I say yes, the market's going to go up because we completely independent of each other. We have our analyses and our indicators and everything else, and you can pretty well be sure the market's going to go up, as sure as it gets. All right, so yeah, that's what I want to say. When our indicators unite, our trades ignite. I think we need to patent that, Aaron. We need to patent that saying. I think
Oh
there's
yeah, of course. I think that we at least need to get the patent or the trademark on the fireworks.
that's right. That's right. I hope you can do that. Just an announcement, folks. Spy on the market. This is actually a pretty cool little newsletter we send out every Thursday morning. It's in your inbox. Nice, easy read while you're having your coffee. It's free. Doesn't cost you a thing. It's just a very, like you say, a very brief, light, relevant reading, entertaining. Subscribe. Just go to DayTradeSPY.com and click on the click on the link to get your free tips, tricks, and traps from the trenches ebook or whatever they send out. Put your name on that. That gets you into the Spy in the Market newsletter as well. This week's topic is going to be trade small, trade often, and this is what I was saying earlier. So I like to trade small. By small, I mean that it depends on what small is, but um, for scalps, admittedly, I do go with more money. But as a rule, if I'm going to go for, say, 6%, I might just trade 10 or 20 contracts or something. It doesn't matter how much I trade, and it doesn't matter how much you trade. I know so a lot of people start with 1 or 2 contracts. That's great. Other people are trading 100 or 200 or 500 contracts. Whatever's in your budget or whatever you want to trade. But I like to just go for those smaller gains multiple times, and like I say, walk with a nice trade. Aaron's a little bit different, and I'll tell you about this in a little bit. So let's move on here. This is the website I was telling you about, DayTradeSPY.com. As you come up here, you'll see this little pop-up. Just put your email address on that, and or go to the daily payout plan. This thing over on the right side. Leave your email address, and you'll automatically get connected to that Spy on the Market e-newsletter that goes out every Thursday morning. All right, tonight's agenda, we are going to talk about the review of last week, preview of next week, what's coming up, have some Q&A sessions, and then we're going to talk about Fibonacci, Trading Secrets, Workshop. We're going to have the launch on that right now. All right, so we're going to start with that. All right, week in review. Week in review. This is what the week looked like as far as the charts are concerned. Quite the swing here this week. Monday was a low, no news days. We bounced off 522 resistance, came back down to test 521. It was mostly range-bound trading. Had some pretty good resistance at 522, but the markets kind of stayed the course on that, waiting for Tuesday. Tuesday's PPI numbers, producer price index numbers, came in a little hotter than the forecast, and then initially tanked SPY. They came in at, I think, 8:30 in the morning. And SPY dropped quite a bit in that first half hour, 8:30. But it came back and recovered nicely. And then when Fed Chair Powell spoke later in the day, in the afternoon, he must have said something that was pretty encouraging to the market, because we ran right back up to close just over 523 on the day. So that was pretty encouraging on that. On Wednesday, we had CPI numbers, all right, consumer price index. These are inflationary gauge numbers that the Feds look at, these and other indicators as well, but this is a pretty important one. And other economic data also reported better than expected. So SPY was going after some new highs. We kept inching up here into the 529 zone. And into the following day, which is Thursday, we actually hit an all-time high of 531.52. 531.52. Anybody who was with us at that time saw the record. That's one of those moments in life that you'll always remember for the rest of your life. Where were we when SPY hit an all-time high of 531.52? Unemployment claims came in higher than expected. Anti-inflationary, right? The higher the unemployment claims, the more the economy is cooling, and that's good for the market, because the market reacts to inflationary and the Fed's interest rate announcements. A lot of profit taking at that level, and ran back down to 528 to close the day. And then on Friday, we had several Fed members speaking. Their speeches kept SPY mostly range bound. We ended up closing at the mid 529s. That was on Friday. Don't want to spend a lot of time on what happened. It's more important what's going to happen. But looking at a seasonal chart, SPY pretty well stayed even this last week. But coming up to the following week, it looks like we rose about 6 points. For those who are new, and by the way, if you are new, let us know in the questions box that you are new here, okay? It'd be nice to know that. This is a seasonal chart. And that blue line is where SPY is now at the top. That red line is a composite of the closing prices of the last 5 years on the daily balance. Okay, so you can see how SPY fluctuated on the seasonals. All right, and here's what happened last week. CPI reports calmed fears of a new wave of inflation pressures emerging. Consumer prices still a little high though for comfort, but they were gradually moderating, and SPY still continued to rally on strong corporate earnings as we wound down the earnings season here for spring of 2024. SPY did reach an all-time new high. Continued economic growth, rising profits, less restrictive Fed's offerings, suggesting the bull market is probably going to continue. That's the consensus from the analysts. Okay. All right. Now here's what happened last week. S&P rose 1.5. Year to date, we're up to 11.2%. Same with the Nasdaq. And the Nasdaq rose 2.1%, and the Dow's up 6.1% year to date. That too rose 1.2% on the week. What's coming up this week? Oh, this young lady is telling us here it's another low, no news day on Monday, but we do have several Fed members speaking, most of which are pretty neutral. They are neither dovish nor hawkish, which is good news. It's probably going to be mostly range-bound trading in there. Same with Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday are going to be pretty well the same as far as that is concerned. Obviously, there could be some last-minute news items, announcements, or something that's going to be injected into the calendar. But right now, this is what we're seeing. Fed on Wednesday, the Feds are going to release their meeting minutes from the last meeting. Generally, there's no news at that, but they delve deeper into what the Feds were thinking. And sometimes you can get some pretty good volatility in there. Other times it's just, kind of flat. Existing home sales also coming out on Wednesday. Thursday, our regular unemployment claims report. We've got flash S&P Global Flash Manufacturing and also Flash Services PMI reports. And new home sales going to be reported on Thursday. Friday, University of Michigan consumer sentiment and also inflation expectations reports, and also durable goods reports on Friday. As far as the week ahead, look for volatility to be low on Monday and Tuesday, a little bit moderate on Wednesday, high on Thursday, and back to moderate on Friday. Sounds like a weather report, doesn't it? So, aim for modest gains early in the week, but there are going to be greater opportunities on Thursday and Friday. But make sure it's a good idea not to be holding overnight into the long weekend. Next weekend is going to be the long weekend with the Memorial Day holiday on Monday. The markets will be closed. Anybody who's holding overnight into the long weekend is going to have 3 days of theta loss. Okay? And it's not a good thing. So let somebody else eat the theta loss on your options. No need to hold into those. So even if it means a bit of a loss if you have to. All right. So folks, we provide opportunities, many opportunities every day. We show you how to spot them and how to trade them. Now, there's a lot of confusion when you're trading, and like this lady here she seems very confused. Where am I? Who am I? What am I doing here? How did I find my way in this webinar? Folks, if you're wondering where is SPY going? How do I figure out what the support and resistance you guys keep talking about? Why is it all so complicated? When do I buy? When do I sell? Am I ever going to get good at this? This is a question I actually get a lot. Am I ever going to get good at this? And who do I follow? You or Aaron or both? Can I just use my intuition for trading? Who do I call for help? What happens if I lose all my money? Well, we're going to focus in tonight on Fibonacci. Fibonacci. Yes, this is not a pasta, not an Italian pasta, but halfway there on that one. But it's a secret mathematical code that lies behind the market, described by an Italian mathematician in the 1200s, but it was actually discovered thousands of years before. And Aaron's going to give us a little explanation on this one here. Aaron's the genius, folks. I kid you not. He is the genius technical analyst, and he is going to unravel this most puzzling mystery and how it applies to trading. Anybody know how to do Rubik's Cube and all? My cousin knows how to do a Rubik's Cube, and I could never, I will never figure that out. You know, that cube, it's got all the colors, and you got to move it around and get all the colors in the same plane and all that. And it's I don't know. I could never figure that out. And that's the way it is with the markets. There are hidden mathematical codes in the markets, and Aaron was able to figure that out and unravel those mysteries. And now And now coming up this week, he is going to have a live online training workshop to help traders calculate strong long-term support resistance levels. This is what those experienced pros use, Fibonacci with amazing accuracy. And you will too, after you master this amazing tool. And I'm going to show you just a very brief. So the way this works, we do this in the trading room every morning. Aaron's got a segment, I guess somewhere between 10, 10:30. We kind of hand it off to Aaron, and we let him go as to those long-term, how he figures out these longer-term support resistance, where the market's going to go. I'm just going to give you a sampling from the other day. I was just able to pick up the sample, and I hope this video comes through okay.
Following
Just listen for a minute on this. Listen to that.
pitchfork. And we're breaking through Fibonacci resistance here at the 521.22 level, which I talked about yesterday was the same number was actually came up on a 50% level. So I would anticipate price to try to break this high. If it does break that high, you'll get into the 527, 528 level, which is quite a bit higher. We're going to have to do something like this. We're going to have to do something like this where we break.
Okay, just give me any type of water you can find, Fish.
Here and then continue up on its way upwards to this upper median line to hit that correctly, because we've had a lot of frequency is called. So if you go down the 15-minute chart, you can kind of see, and I'm going to delete everything and redraw this.
All right, so that was just a segment, just a minute of what he was doing. Now look, I don't know if you caught that, but Aaron there, right there, he predicted that SPY could very well rise to 528. A little longer term. This was at about 10:20 roughly in the morning on Tuesday. This was last Tuesday. Take a look at where SPY actually went. It topped out at over 530 the following day. If you bought those, if you followed his recommendation on that, if you followed his prediction, the out of the money options and the 528 calls wouldn't have been out of the money, maybe one or two out of the money for Friday's expiration. That baby ran up from 75 cents to over $3 the next day. Where else can you make over 250% in one day? Tell me, because I would love to know. I don't know of anything else. Aaron, do you want to say a few words about kind of what this is all about, what happened, and maybe allay any fears that people have, because they're thinking it's going to be very confusing and complicated and all that.
Sure, of course. Yeah. So this webinar is going to focus only on Fibonacci, whereas some of our webinars have talked about Fibonacci or Andrews, or a combination of both, Andrews pitchfork. We've also had some webinars that go into depth about scalp trading, right? But this webinar is a little bit different because we're going to take everything that you can learn and put it in a compartment, compartmentalize it, and then have it so that if you want to review anything in the future, you can go to different sections, right? So we're going to take everything from soup to nuts. If you've never heard of Fibonacci before, or if you use it, I'm going to give techniques for that. So it's going to be from beginners all the way to advanced things. We're going to touch on how to set up the tool. We're going to touch on the history of Fibonacci. We're going to touch on how to use it correctly. We're going to touch on multi-time frame analysis. That's a really exciting thing that I like personally, because if you understand multi-time frame analysis and realize that time is just a mental construct of ourselves to try to dissect where the market's going to go, time is relative. So if you look at a daily time frame and price is hitting a 50% or 61.8% retracement level, you can go all the way down to 1 minute chart and take advantage of those opportunities to get long, buy calls, or if it's going down to buy puts. And we're going to go over many examples, as well as how to look at your charts and as far as context. Now, we talk a lot about in our sessions at DayTradeSPY about context. What's the context of the market? Is the market trending? Is the market ranging? Is the market, and that's also specific to each time frame as well, right? So if you're in a trend on a daily chart and you hit a Fibonacci retracement level, and you bounced off of that retracement level and are going up, the context of the market is you're probably going to be going to an extension level. And so how do you play that? And as well as, if you're in a downward trending market, if price hit a retracement level, I'm going to show you how to measure the retracements correctly. I'm going to talk about different techniques that you can employ for calculating extensions and profits. I'm also going to touch a little bit into some advanced things, such as Fibonacci time. And that's not really something that we talk a lot about in the trading room, but it's something that works, and it's because the Fibonacci works both on the price axis as well as the time axis. You're basically measuring the movements of extremes, right? And so we're going to look over the different patterns as well. We're going to mostly talk about my favorite pattern, which is the ABCD pattern. But we'll also talk about a couple other patterns that you may want to look into. Not something I necessarily trade, but I have been exposed to through different resources and whatnot. So it's going to be really great. And it's if anybody has been in my webinars or seen me talk either in Las Vegas or Orlando during the Money Show, this is going to be a real treat because you're going to see targets, longer term targets. We're going to talk about longer term targets of the market of where it's going to go. We're also going to talk about possible resistance points in this trend that we're going up right now. So say you bought some calls and you're coming into resistance near a Fibonacci extension at 545 or something like that. You'd want to know that. You'd want to know that information. So we're going to show how to measure the moves. We're going to show how to get the extensions. We're also going to show how to get the context and frame your week. Because if you draw Fibonacci retracements and extensions on a daily chart, in a 4-hour chart, in a 1-hour chart, you can kind of know where the market might be headed for the week, and you can kind of take advantage of that because you know the context of the market as in multiple time frames. Now, multiple time frames, you might say, "Oh, that's a little too advanced for me." Well, if it is too advanced, you can start on the 1-hour chart. That's my favorite time frame, and that's what I really love to do, to use during the day trade spy segment that I run and talk about where are the most important levels are coming up and what are the patterns on the pitchfork. We're not really going to talk about the pitchfork, but there's patterns that form on support and resistance levels on the Fibonacci retracements and extensions. And how can we calculate those as well as confluence zones, support and resistance confluence zones, and how to calculate possible risk reward. Hughes talked about 75-cent trade out of the money trade to over $3. But we're also going to talk about how to trade Fibonacci intraday. If anybody's here has been part of the beta sessions or in the kind of more advanced sessions that we talk about, there are trades that happen every single day, setups that happen every single day that you can utilize Fibonacci with. Whether it's price is in a trend and is going up or going down, and it hit a 50 or a 61.8. If you master the ABCD pattern, you can really be assured and confident that price symmetry is going to go towards a symmetrical target. So I'm going to also talk about price symmetry and also how it relates to Fibonacci. So whether you're looking for long-term trades, whether you're looking for swing trades, whether you're looking for intraday trades, what we're going to talk about is the whole gambit, and it's really going to be powerful, and it's really going to boost your success in your trading. So I want to welcome and invite everybody to come on board, and it's going to be great. You can utilize these tools and techniques after the seminar to really boost your trading profits.
Sounds good. I want to ask your permission, folks. Are you guys now ready to get into this thing? I know it sounds a little confusing. Let me ask you, Aaron, do you need any prerequisite to learn this stuff? What should you know already before you can get in this? Is this like sort of level 2 or 3 of, is this for beginners, or what should they know to?
Sure, yeah. I would say so. This is as I mentioned. So it's going to be beginner all the way to intermediate and advanced. So I'm going to touch on everything. So the first part is basically going to be, how do you even find the Fibonacci tool on your Thinkorswim or your TradingView? Like if you've never used it before, where do you find it? Next off, how do you set it up? What are the correct ratios to use? What are the correct extensions, right? Then after we get that out of the way, we're going to show how to draw them correctly. Now, a lot of people draw them different. Some people draw from wicks, some people draw from bodies, some people, draw from down, up, down. I'm going to show you what I do to utilize this tool, and then we're going to go into examples. We're going to go into past examples on an intraday chart. We're going to go to past examples on a swing chart, as well as how to look for the context of the market, as I mentioned, like how to frame your week on a daily chart, so that you can understand the context, and you can utilize that understanding throughout your trading week. If you're interested in multi-time frame analysis, which if anybody is in a trading knows that I go from the weekly chart all the way down to the 1 minute chart every day to find out where these levels are and where people could be buying and selling, and I mark them down and I talk about them. And they're often, I would say, very, very often levels that can be future support and resistance, and especially when it comes to symmetry. So we're going to be talking about symmetry as well, and how it relates to Fibonacci. So I would say everybody from beginner to advanced is going to get something out of this. And of course, it's going to be well worth your time.
Sounds good. All right, so here's what we're going to be talking about here, right? Fibonacci. Fibonacci is going to be kind of like in a four-part setup here, series, four-part. First part, Fibonacci and the hidden math behind all the markets here, the mechanics of retracements and extensions, Fibonacci and money management, and as a bonus, case studies and live trades, along with a Q&A for all paid attendees. So you're not going to want to miss this. This is going to be, so we're going to segment this into these, I guess, categories, parts, so that you can get the full benefit of what we're going to be talking about here, what Aaron's going to be talking about. There's going to be a lot going over, and I'm not going to go over everything, but I just kind of go over some basic overviews here. It's going to give you the fascinating origins of these Fibonacci numbers, 3 reasons why great traders use Fibonacci, whether they know it or not, how to combine chart patterns with Fibonacci for high probability setups, why 38.2 and 50% retracements offer tremendous buying opportunities, the right way and the wrong way to calculate extensions and to know where the market's going to go. That's really important. The importance of confluences and how to spot them, the formula for identifying winners based on Fibonacci retracements. This stuff is solid gold, and much, much more. These are trading secrets that Aaron is going to divulge to you on our session here coming up. Now, if you can let me, I'll be glad to show you how to get in on this incredible workshop. This is going to be Fibonacci Trading Secrets Workshop. It's hosted by the Fibonacci master himself. You're talking to him right here. Folks, I'm going to tell you something. All right. Individually, we could not afford Aaron's services. All right. He mentioned he used to be an analyst for $150 million commodity fund. These guys don't come cheap. All right. But because Eagle essentially bought his services, and he's able to, they're able to obviously spread the cost out over many, many people. And therefore, anyway, long story short, we got the services of Aaron on this, and we are very, very fortunate to have this. So really, if you are smart, you would milk this for all you can, right? I know I would. And this is going to be hosted by Aaron himself. All right. I'm going to be there. All right. So I'll probably be fielding questions and sort of filtering all that out and helping along in that regard. It's going to be interactive, just like this. You'll be able to ask some questions and hopefully you'll get all your answers. And it's also going to be recorded. So if you cannot make the live session, because I know some people are already trying to say, well, they're working or whatever. I know already some people have adjusted their work schedules to get a replacement or whatever at their regular jobs so they can be on this webinar. All right. We already have a lot of people who signed up, so they're already set. But if you're not able to, it doesn't matter. The session will be recorded and available to you for at least 6 months. We have to give a timeline, but we have yet to dump anybody after a 6-month period. So budget 2 hours for this. Is that going to be enough, Aaron? 2 hours? Can you handle all this in 2 hours?
Yeah, we might go a little bit over, but I think that 2 hours is probably going to be around that, maybe a little bit over just to field questions. But yeah, that's it's going to be soup to nuts. I'm going to give you the recipe for the Fibonacci success here, so you can bake it at home on your own.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see other pasta. Fusilli, fettuccine, and Fibonacci. They're all the same pasta dish, right? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. They're all Italian.
All the time. Folks, it's going to be at 11:30 in the morning Eastern time this coming Wednesday, May the 22nd. Note the date, put it in your calendar, block off Wednesday afternoon for this session. All right. Block off the session. It's going to be recorded. And the best way to view this is to just sit through the session, all right, as you go along. And when you go back to review it, note some particular times as to when you want to go back and maybe review again to delve deeper into it if you don't understand something. And then go back and review that way, because that's the nice thing about these recorded sessions. You can fast forward, rewind, pause, and that's probably the best way to learn. All right. There's no written material that's going to go out on that. It's going to be completely all on video, live, recorded. So you can go back and review as much as you want. It's going to be well worth your time. It's all going to be on Zoom, just like this. You're going to be very familiar with the way it's going to work. And here's the nicest thing about it. Again, I was mentioning this earlier that I cannot believe they're giving this away for next to nothing. Normally, these webinars are $249. They're worth, I don't know, they're worth a lot more than this, but they cut the price with this very special promotion. I don't know how long this price is going to be held for $199. But I would jump on this right away. I'm not really sure what time the session, like the live session. I would say that you want to get in there by say 9:30 on Wednesday to get into the live session. Either way, you're going to get the recording. So if you cannot make it live, buy it anyway and view the recording later for like $199. You can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. This is a limited time offer. Get it now. After this offer is up, it'll be $249, $50 more, but it'll be well worth it. So I know some people said, well, I want it now, and there's some people who couldn't get on this webinar. But either way, what I'm doing is I'm putting this QR code up here. So if you put your cell phone camera on that, you'll be able to actually download the web page, which is what this is right here. This is the web page, the Fibonacci trading secrets that deliver bigger wins. You can go through all of this. All right, you can go through all of this, and there's a lot of reasons why you should be in on this. It's actually a very amazing tool that it's going to be pretty cool to have in your toolbox. Now you can add this in with what we do, what I do, but bring in Aaron's Fibonacci tool. And I don't ever want to use the word guarantee or warranty or assured or anything like that, but you will definitely up your likelihood of successful trades when you invoke the Fibonacci tool. And this is going to tell you all about it. And if you scroll to the end, of this, and that's why I didn't want to spend too much time, but you can actually get this right now, this great deal. Just get your contact information on this, your email, and your credit card number and all that, and place your order. All right, for $199 right now, get your order in on this. Again, you're going to be able to just download this, not download, but put your camera up on that QR code. Use the password. I think it asks for a password, Fibonacci, and it is case sensitive, so make sure you capitalize the F on that, and that should work. Okay.
Can I also mention, when you clicked on the Zoom link, it'll bring you up to the same page. If you had an issue with your camera, I don't necessarily know how to do that. You can also go to DayTradeSPY.com on the top right. Top right. I don't know if are they able to do that, Hugh, or not?
Let's take a look here. Let me just bring this up here. I don't know if it's I'm sure it must be up there.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go, like this.
DayTradeSPY.com.
DayTradeSPY.com up at the top right. Was it online workshops?
Correct. Online workshops.
There it is
First
right
one
there.
right there. Yep.
There it is right there. And also, I believe at the end of this session, you should have the URL pop up on your computer screen, so you can do it there. So we've got different ways where you can actually just jump and making it easier to buy in there. By the way, there's all kinds of other things you can get in here too. But tonight we're just on with the Fibonacci workshop. And I think that's really kind of important. Again, $199 for this training course. 2 hours plus on everything you need to know what Aaron does. And I guess he's gonna bring it all together into a 2-hour session. I don't know how you can do that, because it sounds like there's a lot of information there, Aaron. And is it gonna be easy to digest? Are you gonna speak in English on this, or is it gonna be some sort of a trader's technical jargon that nobody's gonna understand?
No, this is going to be easy to understand, but it's going to be beginner to advanced stuff. So, I'm going to take you on a path. We talk a lot about Wizard of Oz and different things. We're going to take you on the yellow brick road to riches. You could kind of say that, but this is like real solid gold, not a man behind a curtain kind of thing. So, yeah, it's going to be easy to understand for sure.
You got to understand, folks, Aaron's from the Midwest, so Wizard of Oz has some special meaning to this guy. So.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it over probably
you're in
25.
Kansas,
Yeah. I've seen it over 25, 30 times. Yeah, I was just over in actually Missouri driving through a tornado, a month ago. So, yeah, definitely know what tornadoes are.
Always been one of my favorite movies too, although I haven't seen it in a while, but I've always loved that movie. That's quite the movie. So anyway, yeah, exactly. And that's one of our indicators. We install the yellow brick road with our trades, and it's been working incredibly well. It's not something you'll find anywhere else, by the way. This is all unique to DayTradeSPY, so you have to be here. And of course, you have the trading room every morning. We've got the ultimate training sessions that we do. Actually, it's an online trading program. So anybody who is new on, doesn't know anything about options, go to the website, go up to the top where it says Ultimate Training Workshop, get into that. I believe it's still available for $9.95. It was the last time I checked. And you want to jump in on that one. We've got the inner circle. We got a lot of stuff. But tonight, I really want to promote and make sure you get in on this Fibonacci. I don't know when this is going to happen again. Probably not for another year. So this is not something you want to miss. Not at all. All right, so let's move on. Any questions? Let's get to the questions, Aaron. There's a lot of questions that come up here.
Yeah, so there's a so this is something. There's a couple of questions here about, is this included with other things that we may have bought or part of the ultimate training workshop or anything like that. This is a separate seminar. So this is so we do have, our course, which is Ultimate Training Workshop. That covers everything and is a great foundation for your trading. So when you first get started with DayTradeSPY, we often recommend people to go through the Ultimate Training Workshop, which is I believe it's 11 modules over 15 hours of content where you can really understand and get a solid foundation of trading. This seminar that's coming up on Wednesday is something that's a one-off seminar, and we're focusing only on intently at one thing. So it's a valuable advanced workshop, but it's at the same time it's beginner to advanced. Um, so it's a little bit more in depth on Fibonacci than we talk about in the Ultimate Trading course. And once you if you bought the Ultimate Trading course, you don't get this one-off workshop. Same thing as far as I know. If you are a part of the I forget the name of the right now at the tip of my tongue, society, Day
Oh,
Trade
yes, yeah.
Spy Society. I do not believe that's included in this either.
No.
So it's an intense one-off workshop, but at the same time, it's from beginner to advanced. So it's going to be each section is going to be building on the one before that, and I'm not going to say too much about myself, but my mom was a award-winning teacher. We have a lot of people that say that I teach things pretty well, actually, very well and excellently. So, um, I it's in my genes, I guess. I guess you could say, to teach and to convey ideas and whatnot. So, um, as long as you're there, you're going to learn something that's going to be very valuable for your trading.
One of the things in our trading room, though, you have to put up with is our bad jokes.
Yeah.
You know, Aaron, did you know that diarrhea is hereditary?
No, I do not know that.
It runs in your genes.
Oh my gosh, that's really
I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
wow.
I'll just reminded you.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Um,
We have fun, folks. We do have fun.
yeah.
Uh,
Let me see here.
There's a question about, is there any other source for the Fed's speeches other than Forex Factory? I like Forex Factory. Forex Factory is a free website. You get to the schedule as to the main events that happen during the day, and they got a calendar that's actually pretty cool. If you do want more information on Fed Reserve activities, go to the Federal Reserve website. Let me see if I have that. You can find it's very easy. I think it's just like federalreserve.com or something, and they've got all their stuff on that. Let me see what that would be. www.federalreserve.gov. All right, and then you can, I'm sure you can get the. I don't know if there's a schedule on that or just the speeches, the scripts or whatever, but yeah, I'm sure they have their calendars there as well.
yeah.
So that's available there.
So
Sorry,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to throw one more question here, then get to you for some questions here. Is there a numerical limit as to the number of contracts you can have in one trade? As far as I know, it's limited by how much money you have in your account. So, but don't go crazy and trade your entire balance in one trade. It's just foolish. So, go ahead.
There was a question about is it going to be based on Thinkorswim? We're going to have the Thinkorswim platform up. I'm going to be working on both on Thinkorswim and on TradingView, which is another drawing. It's my favorite platform that I use to draw and to go over charts with, and that's usually what I use for my session. But I do switch back and forth, and I do talk about trade setups and ABCD patterns that are forming, as well as once you learn this and learn and go through what we're talking about and understand what I'm saying with Fibonacci, if you're already a member of the trading room, things are going to become a lot more clear. I mean, we have people all the time that, whether they're in the beta group or the trading room, or they take one of our past webinars, they have aha moments. Okay. And I don't know if it's the way that I explain things or the answers that they're looking for. We really take the lead and show you how to do this on your own. So you're going to have aha moments, and you're going to understand why the market works the way it does. And you're going to understand why these Fibonacci ratios work. I mean, if every market maker and every institution, if you can imagine this, every market maker and every institution has technical analysts, and they've all been trained on Fibonacci. Okay. The Andrews pitchfork and Fibonacci combination is kind of our own thing at DayTradeSPY, but every market technician has been trained on Fibonacci. So if you have something where every market technician knows and every market technician can see, and every large institution is looking for the buyers and the sellers at these levels, That's really powerful, folks, especially on the daily and 4-hour time frames where these large traders are placing huge orders. That's really, really powerful. So you're going to see the dealer's hand in how to read the market like a market maker as well.
You know, that's true. And if they're using it, would you rather trade with the pros or against them?
Exactly.
Because it's going to be one or the other, one or the other. And I wouldn't want to be on the other side of that. Um, I mean, my system works very well, thank you very much. But when you can take a 75-cent option, turn it to $3 the next day, all right, based on what Aaron said. Imagine that. So let's say you had 70, what's that, 2.5 times? That's 2.5 times roughly, is it? $3, 75 divided by $3. You're talking about 2.5 times your money, of course. So let's say, you put, $2,000 into a trade. Now you got $5,000 the next day. I don't know of anything so as powerful as that. Question is, how accurate is this, Aaron? I mean, how much should we invest as a gamble? How risky is Fibonacci? How often does it turn against you?
Well, yeah. So we're actually going to be talking about if you want to use a stop or not. And we're also going to be talking about how you can use stop losses if you want to. But it's not necessary. You can trade without a stop loss. But I would say that your profit potential is definitely a lot larger than your losses. So as long as you're using it correctly and can spot the patterns correctly, we're even going to be talking about a little bit about how to utilize it with volume, but not like we've gone into detail in the beta group because this is mostly focused on Fibonacci. So I see one question here is asking for the password. Again, the password for the QR code is Fibonacci, FIBONACCI.
And make sure you capitalize that F.
Yeah, and another question from Brian P. He's asking, will the Fib help if scalping on the 1 minute and 5 minute? Yes, it will. The Fibonacci patterns happen on every time frame, and there's traders that use Fibonacci on every time frame. So you will see Fibonacci levels hit, form a spike or form a support and resistance level on a 1 minute chart or 5 minute chart, and then go to your extension level. And you can make good trading decisions just by reading that on the 1 and the 5 minute. And I can't tell you how many times where we've gone over charts and looked at a Fibonacci level where it hit a 50 or a 61.8 or a 38.2, and then it goes to 127 and it turns on a dime and goes in the other direction. So you might have two, three, maybe even 4 Fibonacci setups in one day. If you traded after the 1 hour trading room session is up. And one of our gentlemen, Brian Z, he loves scalping the 1 minute charts, and not necessarily scalping because he's buying and holding for a few minutes, either 0 day or 1 day to expiration options, and he's doing very well. You don't need to necessarily use 0 day or 1 day. You can use weeklies as well with this. So it's for everybody. It really is for everyone. As long as you understand what we're talking about and how to use the tool, you can use it with your current strategy.
You know that most traders drop off both futures and options. I don't know what the number is. I've heard all kinds of numbers all over from 90% up to 98%. It's because they blow up their accounts because they don't know what they're doing. And it's no mystery that there is no mystery with options trading. And when you understand options trading, then it totally demystifies the concept here. And that's what we do. We take the whole mystery out of it and explain to you how this works. And when you understand it, it's very clear, and that's how you can make money. So the way I figure it, if most of these people are going to lose their money with options, they might as well lose it to you, who understands how it works. And that's what I like about it. So they're going to lose their money anyway. Again, you might as well be the one taking it off their hands. And that's what we teach you, how to do that. So just getting some of these other questions real quick before we kind of wrap it up here. We're going to be using Thinkorswim. You said, I think, yes, we're going to be using that. Somebody's asking about how to place trades on E-Trade. I'm not familiar with E-Trade or how to place trades. This session is not designed to do that. Let's see here. There's a lot of questions up in here. Yes, it's going to be recorded. Even if you can't make it to the ultimate train or to the workshop on Tuesday, buy it anyway because you'll get the recording. All right. Very frustrating. Have to work. Gonna miss the live training, but just watch the recording. Yes. What time is the newsletter on Thursdays? I find it's in my inbox. By the time I get up in the morning, 8 o'clock, it's there already. So we actually write it on Tuesdays. It gets edited and stuff between Wednesday and Thursday, and it's up there. So there's a question here. Somebody could not kind of sign up. I guess they signed up, but they didn't get any confirmation from us. Not sure how that works. I do have your email. I'm going to forward that to the marketing people. Make sure that you get on the newsletter. I don't know exactly. Are you supposed to get a confirmation yet or not? That I don't know. Okay, some new people, welcome. Any chance we're going to get the next 2 to 10K challenge? I don't know, Ken. We're going to be talking about that next couple of weeks when we should bring that back, and we'll do it. And we're going to just refine that a little bit so that we don't have it conflicting with other strategies. Last time we did that, it seems to be a lot of conflict between that and the two. So what that is, it's a challenge that we took $2,000 to $10,000. That was the objective, but there's a lot of conflict with other strategies and trades and different things, and that just served in some way that was very confusing to people. Aaron, oh my gosh, so many questions here tonight. So many questions. Okay. A lot of the questions kind of are the same. And I think some people are really concerned if they're going to be able to follow it. But I would say, and it's going to be interactive, so you can ask questions of Aaron if you're not really understanding. Okay, let's see. Okay, is this current session an orientation to Fibonacci or a promotion for the upcoming event? Mike P, this is a promotion for the event. It is, I mean, you're gonna learn a little bit here, but it's a promotion. You want to be on the event. It's yeah, so all right. Is Aaron going to be working with charts and how to navigate with them from different brokerages? I know Thinkorswim has Fibonacci, so does Tasty Trade. I'm not familiar with others, but I'm pretty sure any respectable brokerage is going to have Fibonacci. It's a common indicator. Okay, it's a common indicator. So
Yeah, I mean, even Bloomberg has Fibonacci. Bloomberg, what the market makers use. I mean, you have Bloomberg all the way to TradingView, TradeStation, you name it. Even some people still use eSignal and other platforms. So
yeah. Here's a question. I bought the scalping workshop several months ago and was unable to attend. Was that recorded? That was recorded, yeah. If so, how may access? So contact customer service at DayTradeSPY. Tell them, they'll check into it. They'll send you the link. That should not be a problem here. Okay, so again, the password for the QR code is Fibonacci. Capital F, IBONACCI. All right, not fettuccine. Oh, are you going to talk about where the market is headed this week? Yes, we did talk about that. I think we're pretty well going to keep it down to about an hour. If there's any other real important sort of pressing questions, 0-day options seem very risky. Yeah, what's your opinion on that 0-day options, Aaron? I know you can make a lot of money. You can also lose a lot.
Yeah. Well, actually, we've gone over this in the beta group, and it's if you're a DayTradeSPY trading room subscriber, you can still access the beta group. If you've been on the fence about that, we have over 15 hours now of free session works on that. But the thing is that the way that you can trade using the intraday trading strategies, using Fibonacci and Andrew's pitchfork and just trading in general, you can get in and out of trades the same day. So you can either use 0-day, 1-day, or weeklies. And if for some reason it doesn't hit your target, you can stay in weeklies. I do believe in 0 data expiration. I do believe also in 1 data expiration options if you want to utilize a stop loss. Weeklies is a little bit different because you can still utilize the stop loss if you want, but you get that extra comfort of time. So a lot of times people, especially if you're with us in the trading room, we don't really use stop losses for the weeklies, but you can still get in and out and catch your profit and still have that time to wait if for some reason it goes against you. And by utilizing the Fibonacci tool, you can know okay, if it bounces off the 61.8 and goes towards my extension, that's when you can get into a call option or a put option, right? And you're going to know where your target is. So in actuality, it could actually be saving you money, because if you stay in a trade too long and it completely reverses against you, you know, if you would have gotten out at an extension instead of continuing to hold it, you know, and the price reverses and goes completely in the opposite direction, which it often does with Fibonacci tool, Fibonacci extensions, that actually saves you from a loss. That actually saves you from a potential loss. So I'm going to go over that as well, about how to utilize extensions as your targets, as well as symmetrical extensions as your targets, so that you know, price doesn't reverse, you know, out of nowhere, and you were in a profit, and then you find out, hey, why did this happen? Why did this change course? We're going to talk about a few examples about that too.
Sounds good. All right, gang, it's 9:02 Eastern. Let's wrap it up. That fire's getting hot, Aaron. That fire's getting very, very hot. It's
Oh, nice.
done with it. Yeah.
Get some Jiffy Pop on that.
Been a pleasure, folks. So see you Wednesday. Actually, we'll see you in the trading room tomorrow and on the Fibonacci webinar Wednesday, 11:30 Eastern. Sign up now. Thank you, Aaron. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yeah, thank you. Take care, everybody.
Give it all to you and trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you what I'm seeing. You